Look around. Look at the faces of your classmates. I mean the determination in their eyes, the quiet faces in their posture. You are all part of something special. A community of learners striving for knowledge, understanding, and general growth. We are not just here to memorize facts or past tests, but we are here to explore the world, to uncover its mysteries, to challenge our assumptions, and to develop the critical thinking skills that will shape our future. I mean, the journey ahead won't always be easy. I know that. There will be moments of doubts, times when the work feels overwhelming. Here, activities of integration from geography, activities assignments from different disciplines of life, as far as the subjects we handle at O and A level. I know at some points it is surely overwhelming. A particular day comes with over 5 assignments to do, and even some frustrations in one way or the other. But my students, remember this, that every challenge is an opportunity. Every challenge is a chance for you to learn, and every setback is a chance to grow. Think of the famous explorers you know in life, the brilliant scientists, the artists who revolutionized their fields. They didn't achieve greatness over one night. It wasn't an overnight, please. They faced obstacles. They stumbled at one point. They learned from their mistakes. If you don't want to learn from your mistakes, then it is a high chance you change opinion. At some point they persevered. You must be ready to persevere. You must be ready to embrace the unknown. And that is what we need to do as well. You have unique talents, you have unique perceptions, you have unique contributions that you make in class. And this will make the world unique. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't achieve. That is a lie. You can achieve. Please listen to me now. You can achieve something. And this is done through you challenging yourself. Push your boundaries and discover the potential within you. Sit down and talk to yourself. My student, please get some time and talk to yourself and discover your talent. Discover the potential you own. Remember the power of positivity and determination. Remember that you must use your mistakes as stepping stones, not stumbling blocks. Embrace the support of your peers and teachers. Please, the group discussions should be considered paramount. Of course, it is a teamwork thing, so we learn as a team. So we are here as OS e-learning platform, not as one person, but we are a team. Here to lift each other up and celebrate each other's success. Kindly don't be afraid to ask questions. Ask those questions in the comment section. I submit to give responses. Seek clarifications, please, from your teachers, from your friends, and explore different point views. To my class, as far as OS e-learning platform is concerned, this is a class. It is a place of exploration and discovery. Let's discover something. I created this platform as a place where you can learn from each other. Kindly share your opinion. It is a place where we are going to foster collaboration. And by the end of the day, we shall grow not only in knowledge, but also the confidence. So let's embark on the journey together and let's push ourselves beyond our comfort zone. Please, let's celebrate the amazing things we will accomplish together. I love you all, and may God bless you. Thank you so much. You're welcome to yet another edition of OS e-learning platform, brought to you by OPERO Stephen, brought to you by Stephen OPERO. The books are already out, the practical book, and also the mathematics item bank is out, covering all topics from Senior 1 to Senior 4. It has over 400 revised scenario-based items, covering the 4 themes: numbers, pattern and algebra, data and probability, and then geometry and measure. So this is comprising of 28 topics, covering all classes of O level. Please inbox if you want a copy at a very, very interesting and affordable price. Otherwise, let's get into the discussion. But before we get into the discussion, let's first pray. Father, we thank you for this morning. We thank you for this afternoon. We thank you for this evening, for the blessing, for the mercy, for the love you've granted us. We are not the special one, but we are the few you've chosen to still push the ambition, to still push our purpose. Thank you, Jesus. We ask you to guide us. Lead us, for we are actually nothing without you, but we can do everything with you, because it is you who strengthen us. It is only you who gives us the power. Father, guide us and lead us. We pray all this believing through the mighty name of Jesus Christ, the Son who lives and reigns within the Spirit, one God forever and ever. Amen. And to all our brothers and sisters from different sections of beliefs, we all believe in the same God, the Allah, the Creator, the mighty God. Thank you, my students. Allow me start on this simple activity of integration that I tried out with my students, and at the end of the tutorial I will share with you 3 items that are coming from bearing, compound interest and discount, and also income tax. So pay attention on this learn something on this first activity of integration, then you apply what you've understood to practice or to try out the coming trial activities. And then if you get time, please upload them. Just upload a PDF on the comment section. I will receive it, I will score you, and probably, if you permit me, we can share that response on this very platform, or I will inbox you and give you your scores. Otherwise, this is a simple item that I tried to come up with, and let's go through it. John moves to his village from home. John moves to his village. From home, he travels 25 kilometers on bearing of 250 degrees to trading center. From there, he changes course and heads north 30 degrees west, and moves 55 kilometers up to the village. In the village, he wishes to construct a country home. In the village, he wishes to construct a country home. And to fund this project, he is to take a loan from the bank worth 25 million at an interest rate of 5% compounded yearly. Be careful here. We are seeing that the interest rate is, or the loan is to be serviced yearly. So if you are to take in 2 months, you should take care of that yearly. And the period is for 10 years. So apparently you can see that we have covered about 2 topics under geometry and measures. One is bearing, and also we have covered compound interest. He earns a monthly gross salary or income of Uganda shillings 943,500 and entitled to the following allowances as well. So the third topic is here, income tax. Housing and transport 10% or taxable. This topic is called business arithmetic. Housing and transport 10% of his gross income, meaning this transport allowance is a monthly thing. Insurance premium of this monthly. Marriage and child allowance, that money monthly. Be careful with the last statements. Medical care, that money per annum. Remember, the salary is per month, so anything to do with per annum should go to per month. So that's why we get to realize that this is okay, we can just add them, but this one here per annum we have to change because our gross salary or income is per month, unless if it is per year, then these ones will be affected. Take it per year now, the first three, take it per year, but for this particular case it is per month, so we have to take it to we have to take this medical care to months. He is also subjected to the following tax rates: taxable income of that money and taxable rate. So that is the 0.001 to 96% and up to 520 and above taking 47%. So we are given the tax rate. And please, if you missed the first presentation about this very topic, taxable income, or I mean income tax or business arithmetic, please check. I'm just going through this item, and most of the perimeters we discussed them in the first presentation of this very topic. Please check for those videos and watch them, like them, forward them to your friends. The target here is to use mathematics and solve the real life problems. Task: if he used the direct route from his home to the village, and for each kilometer he travels, his car consumes 0.5 liters of petrol, how many liters will his car consume? How much will he save in this case? How much money will he pay back in the bank every month? If the bank is to give him the loan on the condition that the money he is to pay back every month is not more than 50% of his net income. Check here. At some point we are going to make a deduction, but the deduction will be based on this, that the condition is that on a condition that the money he is to pay back, meaning the monthly loan pay, must be on a condition that it's not more than 50% of his net income. So we need to get his net income, and we take net past 50%, then we compare that money, compare it to the money he's to pay monthly as loan pay. Then will he get the loan or not? So we have to justify after comparing the two amounts, the two amounts of money is to pay for the loan and the 50% of his net income. Then we justify that. Let's get into expected responses. So for this case, we can see that we just need to get a sketch before we start Roman 1, because we need to construct to locate the direction or the distance John used to travel direct from home to the village. And then we can measure the distance, direct route, compare it to the exact route we used. Then we multiply that by the liters, because each kilometer is consuming 0.5 liters. Then we compare the values. If he is to save, then we take the difference very fast. So we need to get a scale, because you can't draw kilometers on just a small paper. So we scale down these values. We have 25 kilometers, we need to scale it. And also, was it 55 kilometers? So 55 kilometers. So we have to scale down these values to a convenient scale. So according to this, we can see that we have 10 centimeters representing 1 kilometer. So every 1 kilometer John travels is represented by 10 centimeters on drawing. And please, I advise you, let me repeat this, always use graph papers or graph paper to construct this bearing diagram. So I gave here score A1. A1 means analysis. So after realizing that the scale given, after analyzing that the scale given is too big, I have to scale it down. Then I scale that by getting 55 divided by 10. So you win as divide by 10, it becomes 5.5, then 5.5, and that is centimeters. So on sketching it, you get to realize that if this is our home, the home is here, then I need to construct, because it's moving on a bearing of 250. So this is 90, 90, and this is 70. So 90 plus 70, that is 250. So I draw a line, straight line, but measuring, of course, this is a sketch, just a sketch. I will measure this 25 kilometers, which is 2.5 centimeters. And then that will be the trading center location. I still make my compass. Then why do I need to use compass? Because it's the one that gives the bearing. And remember, measure bearing from north to north clockwise, and unless the direction is given to that bearing. Like for this case, we get to realize that he moved again 30 degrees, but in the direction of northwest. So that one will be a different case. So we move from north towards the west, you measure 30 degrees towards, because this is the west now, 30 degrees, and that we draw that line until we reach the village. So to reach the village, on reaching the village, we have to connect the route, straight route from the village or from home to the village. So that is the straight route. Otherwise, I will now give you the accurate diagram. Allow me give you the accurate diagram now. However, you can also use a pencil and all the requirements of the set or elements of the set to come up with accurate, but use a graph paper. So the accurate diagram is here. The only challenge with this diagram is that we agreed you can't use kilometers. Now that you've scaled these values here, so you can't use them. So you use the scaled values. However, since you've interpreted them, only that we don't know these values, so you have to scale this one also at some point. So I would advise you to always use the measured values, the values you measured on this, but still maintain the bearing. This is remember, unless the direction is given, it's always north clockwise, and that is 250. Please, while measuring, first measure this 90 and also this 90. Of course, this one don't even need to measure. That is an obvious case. Then place your protractor on this. The horizontal line should be based on this. The horizontal line of that protractor should lie on this north-south line, such that you start measuring from here, and that is from 0 until you get to 70, because students sometimes misfire this, as in they place the protractor on the base and then they read. Okay, there's a way they mess up at some point and they don't actually get this angle as 70. So you have to place it here such that it is horizontal line lies on this line, and you start measuring 70 degrees. So be careful while measuring that additional angle to make the total of 250. I repeat, be careful. I'm telling you this. Be careful while measuring. North clockwise, and unless the direction is given. Let me just leave this highlighted because I don't want you to make that mistake again. This one's highlighted, please. This one's highlighted. P means presentation. P means presentation. So that's the code I used here. Or to those who are familiar to ticks, please presentation. Thank you for that. All right, now that from the sketch we have the approximate value for the direct route from home to the village, and that direct route is as per this sketch you get to realize that it is about 6.3 centimeters. So we have to change this to kilometers, and we agree that in the scale 1 kilometer is equal to 10 centimeters, meaning to get the kilometers that are in 6.3 centimeters, we multiply times 10, and that will be 63 approximately. And we agreed that also 1 kilometer consumes 0.5 liters of fuel. How about 63 kilometers, and we multiply, so approximately 31.5 liters. So the application, or the score for application is given at this level, where the item taker gives the conclusion, gives the connection between the response given to the task or part of that task. So we can see that this car would consume 31.5 liters if we used a direct route from his home to the village, which is okay. So application score is taken here. M means manipulation, manipulated the data very well. And how about home to trading center? I mean the total distance he traveled. So he moved from home to trading center, then from trading center to the village, getting us a total distance of 25 plus 55, and that is roughly 80 kilometers. Without forgetting that each kilometer is 0.5, so this will take us 40. Now when you compare the 40 liters for the whole journey from home to trading center to village, vis-a-vis taking a direct route from home to the village, you get to realize that the liters of covering this distance for the total from home, town, trading center, and finally village is greater than that of direct route. So there is a saving here. I think that's why they're tasking learners, to the item taker, to give verdict on saving amount of, the liters of petrol that would be saved. Village to home is that, now if you get the saving, subtract, that is 40 liters for direct route minus 31 minus 31.5, and that will give us an approximate of 8.5. Now because of inaccuracy in construction, sometimes you find that I can give a range of score for these liters, meaning if you have something like 7 to, I think 8.5 is too big as well. So if you look at the angles 250 and the other angle 30, if you try to use a graph paper, you try to minimize errors and probably you get to our exact answer. But since we are constructing, at some point we may not have that very exact answer or response. However, we can get the response within the range, closer to the exact value. He would save 8.5 liters in this case application. That's the application score. So basically, that is what we can give as a response for that part of saving liters. All right, compound interest. Now that we are given the compound interest rate of 5%, we have number of time or days, sorry, number as time, n, and it's representing 10 years here. Then the initial called the principal is given. Now we use the formula, and that's why F1 is scored here for formula. Correct manipulation of that use of that formula. However much the work is crossed here, I will also cross, but as if clear work is this side. So this part, I'm going to score this part. Well, basically, when you simplify this whole correctly substituted values of principal, rate 5, and the number of years, which are 10 years, we get to this value. That is roughly 40,722,365.67 shillings. Now that is the amount. Now for us to get interest, you get the amount minus principal. So this is amount at this stage minus principal to get the interest amount, compound interest, and this is the money. The money is ultimately 15,722,365.65 Uganda shillings. Now, since this is for year, remember it is compound interest per year. Now for those years, we get this amount. Now since it's per year, we go to months. And the year has 12 months, so we have to divide and get this money. So you will pay an amount of Uganda shillings, 1,310,997.158 per month. So that is basically that part that required the amount he is to pay per month as he's paying the loan. So that is the amount required. Let's go to the other part that requires the net income. And for us to calculate the net income or any percentage of net income, we first need to check on the gross salary, total allowances given. Then we get the money that is to be subjected to tax, and that is called taxable income. Basically, we need to first arrive to that point. Then ultimately, the net income will be the difference between taxable income and the total income tax. From the taxable income, we just deduct the money that is spent on tax income, and that tax income removed from the taxable income, what we remain with is what we call the net income. So for us to reach that level, basically we just need to know the gross salary. It is 45,500 shillings, Uganda shillings. Now this is how allowance is distributed. 10% of his gross income goes to housing and transport allowance, so that is a manipulation score. Insurance premium, this is per month. Marriage and child allowance per month. Medical care, it is taking about 1,188,800, and this is per annum, meaning take it to per month, divide by 12 months in a year, and giving us 92,400 monthly. Then total allowance will raise to that Uganda shillings 349,950. So that is the total allowance. Remember, on the total allowance, we do not charge a tax. We do not impose a tax on total allowance. Meaning, since this total allowance is part of the gross salary, then I can't, or the system can't subject the total gross salary to taxation, because it includes even the allowances that are tax-free. You get the point. So I have to remove these allowances from the gross salary, and what I remain with is what I will subject to taxes. And then that's why we are saying gross salary, gross income minus total allowance gives me what we call the money called taxable income. So that's the money now that I will remain with, and I will subject it to taxation. So up here they manipulated data very well, that's why you are seeing M1. Now let me subject this money to this taxation policy. Now we follow a tax structure depending on the examiner or the item score as item writer. So the taxable income is here, tax rate, and the tax paid or the income tax paid. This tax band is always given, and the target here is that for us we need to locate where the income meant to be taxed lies, and that income is ultimately 595,550 Uganda shillings. So where does it lie? So we get to realize that it actually above, it is above. So the last value or the last amount on the tax band, the taxable income is greater than the last value, so it is above. Now if it was maybe within this range, that is 320,440, then, and now that maybe it is less than this, sorry, greater than this, but less than this, then that money would be in this range. So we could just end our table at some level here. But now that the taxable income, the money to be taxed, is actually lying in the range above, then it means that it will occupy that position. So you be careful. It is the taxable income that gives us the range, because after identifying the money for the taxable income, then you vividly allocate where it falls. So using this structure, we get to realize that the rates are already given. I just need to calculate the individual income paid. So for the shillings 001 to 90,000, they actually remove 6%. They deduct 6%, and we agreed on that the 6% will actually act on the 90,000, because this is ultimately 0 shillings. So it's like from 0 shilling to 90. So I will get 90 minus 0, and that 6% will work on 90, and that will give us 5,400 shillings. Then for the 14% will actually work in the range, whoever receives the money within the scope of 90,000 and 200,000. Now since this money can't work on either the 90 or 200,000, but it can work within the difference of this, and that is 200,000 minus 90. So we are getting 15,400. 15,400. Okay, then for 20 the same thing, we subtract, we get 24,000. Next we get 36,000. Next is 3,300 and 33,600. Next is 35,505.5. And when we sum up all that amount, we come to 149,908.5 Uganda shillings. So this is the tax, the total tax, given that the guy's money is falling within the scope of above. So that is the total tax that has to be that will be deducted, or that we have to deduct from the taxable income. For that case, we need to dwell on this tax. So that's why we agree now to get a net income, net pay, what we call take home. I have to get the net income being equal to the taxable income minus income paid, or the total income tax. And that is raising us to something. Manipulation score is here, manipulated very well. M1 means manipulation, F formula, A is analysis, I is interpretation, AP is application, presentation P. So if you have a subscript 1, it means that you've scored that. And if you have subscript 0, it is another thing. I mean, it is what are you? So you get to realize that the guy will actually pay, will take home an amount worth 445,641.5 Uganda shillings out of the what million, sorry, not even million, out of 945,500. So instead the guy will take 4 5, that is 445,641.5. So this is the money that we call take home, or the net pay. Next, what should we check on the next thing? We need now to get 50% of that money, and we make analysis, conclusion. Now if you look at the 50% of this money is actually 50 over 100 times the net income, and that is raising us about 222,820.75 Uganda shillings. Now if you compare the 50% of his net income, compare this 50% with this, compare this with the amount he has to pay per month. Where is that money? The amount he has to pay per month. If you compare this is about 15 million. 13 million. This is it 13 million? Yeah, it is 1 million. Sorry, it is 1 million 300 plus. Here it is 200, not even close to 300,000. And yet the condition was that for him to receive the loan, the 50% of his monthly net income must be greater than the loan amount paid per month, such that he can get some money to pay the loan. So now, since he can't remain with any money, actually to pay the loan, even he needs to, to sell the goat or the hen to add the money. So conclusively, conclusively we can ideally see that John, that is John, okay, if you don't want to use he, then you use the name itself. John will not get the loan since the 50% of his monthly net income is less than the loan amount paid per month. So my brother John, from the analysis, the truth is loan Jason, we leave the loan aside. Thank you so much. All right. Thank you so much for your contribution. Thank you for paying attention. Na 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 na
Omberete wonyo katonda ninane byentunulira netya olinane byonkolera byesigwana omukwano ogwewuunya sikulya nti byendya birungi mmwe muva obulamu bwe nnina buno eriyo bendabye abafa mu kkuto oba emmere gye balidda tokubatuka yeggwe yeggwe gwe katonda nze nkuyimbako kuba ndabyo.
So what we can do is just treat them as unless one
omberete wonyo katonda ninane byentunulira netya olinane byonkolera byesigwana omukwano ogwewuunya sikulya nti byendya birungi mmwe muva obulamu bwe nnina buno eriyo bendabye abafa mu kkuto oba emmere gye balidda tokubatuka yeggwe yeggwe gwe katonda nze nkuyimbako kuba ndabye omukono gwo ondabye okukolako.
pause the video and try this.
Na 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 omberete wonyo katonda ninane byentunulira netya olinane byonkolera byesigwana omukwano ogwewuunya sikulya nti byendya birungi mmwe muva obulamu bwe nnina buno eriyo bendabye abafa mu kkuto oba emmere gye balidda tokubatuka yeggwe yeggwe gwe katonda nze nkuyimbako kuba ndabye omukono gwo ondabye okukolako gwe katonda nze nkuyimbako kuba ndabye omukono gwo ondabye okukolako gwe katonda. Ngenda nentunuulireyo gyenva ngenda nentunuulireyo gyenva mbwe ntunuulira namwandu gwe navaamu addala kisa mukaamu kunkuza bino mbigamba n'abato be wampa ndikigambera n'abaana baabwe nti nze yali mukamera nga yekka oyo mwene nyumiririza yeggwe yeggwe gwe katonda oluyimba gwe katonda nze nkuyimako kuba ndabye omukono gwo kutema kwenjuba gwe katonda bino ebitiibwa eroolisaana gwe katonda gwe katonda yeggwe yeggwe ondabye okukolako gwe katonda
as follows: 8.5 on the first shillings 500, meaning when you're earning 500, I just move 8.5% as a tax. On the next shillings from 1.2, I have to subtract. On 1.2, I've removed, of course, 400. From the 1.6, I have 1 point. So on 1.2, I need to make sure that I charge a tax as follows: 8.5 on the first 500. Then on the next I charge 14.5, next 30, and charging on respective amount. Please try this. However, I will upload the response and we confirm whether we're on the same page. Okay. So basically that is what we had for now and for today. Now allow me to talk about something. The truth is, in life there are three best friends. These are people, if they are people, these are human beings, if they are human beings, that will ever stay with you forever. They will never forsake you. They will always be with you. The question is, do you consider them as well? That when you're making a decision, do you consider them? Or you make decisions, or we make decisions. Let me talk about us. I don't want to sound like I'm excluding myself. Like when some people... Anyway, let's continue. So do we include the three people or the three best friends while making decisions? And who are these best friends? Who can guess them? The three. Come rain, come shine. Come famine, come poverty. Come everything. They are always there with us, for us. Day, night, day, night. Guess that, or guess the three friends. Number one is your money. Your money. Your best friend is your money. I will not explain much, but any decision we are making, put consideration, put your money under consideration. Number two is yourself. The truth is, when you give up, it is you to lose, and when you persist, you gain. So the game is a draw here, and you give in, you get, you win. You give up, you lose. So the guarantee of success is when you don't give up. It is a deposit that you can put in the bank of success to see that you achieve. Can I get the last one, the last best friend? The last best friend? Wanji. The last best friend, please. I can't hear you. Those best friends are always with us. Are always with us. Best friend. How about our lives? Whether you're poor, whether you're rich, you're tall, short, it is your life, my brother or my sister. So take care of your life. I repeat, your money, your life, you yourself. Be you. However, the most leading best friend of all times. That's why I never wanted to include in the first three. in the last 3, so I wanted to include him in the first position, and that is our God. He is the only creator who knows when someone is to come on this planet and when he or she is to go back. The controller of the heavens, the earth, the waters, in physics we have 8 planets, starting with Mercury, the closest to the sun. The biggest galaxy, the biggest star in the world, that's the sun. He's the one controlling. He's the one running day and night. The one running your breath, my breath. The one who decides now, Stephen, stay for this week, next week, and this coming month. The one who decides for our journey. This is the only best friend we need to talk to see that we don't mess up. Because none of us made an appointment to come to this planet. One thing I remember is the first day to land on the planet Earth, we cry. And guess what? I won't explain much. You are God, my God, best friend, your money, your life, and yourself. Allow me end there. Thank you so much for listening. OPERO Stephen. The books are already there. Try to make an order, please. The target is to explore physics, the physics that is beyond nature. The target is to explore mathematics. Because we agreed that we are no longer solving for X only, but also we are solving real life problems. Some people ask, are you still looking for X? Please, now we go to the X and now we are using the X to solve the real life problems. May God bless you. I love you so much. Keep chasing your dreams. We meet